18 months tax free for new company. There have been a lot of conversation about the new tax law on the internet, and then a lot of people have held class and had conferences to explain the new tax law and then what 2026 is going to look like for business owners and individuals alike. One of the possible conversations that has sprang up when it comes to having conversation about tax when it comes to businesses is 18 months tax free for new companies. A lot of people have reached out to me, including clients, and then people are interested in going into business and people that want to comply with their taxes, asking that, hello sir, is there an 18 months tax free for new company? And that is why I'm making this video. If you follow me to the end of this video, I'm going to be showing you practically with examples what the provision of the company income tax law section 55 subsection 3 that talks about 18 months tax for newly incorporated companies, and I'm going to be sharing examples with you so you get to understand how you are going to leverage this tax to be able to, of course, keep your company at a level where your tax will not be so much. So this is why I'm making this video. You know, section 55 subsection 3 of the Company Income Tax Act talks about an 18 months window when it comes to new companies that have just been incorporated. Expressly, the provisions of section 55 subsection 3 says for a new company that has just been incorporated, the law expects the company to file their company income tax returns within 18 months from the date of incorporation or 6 months after the end of the first accounting year, which one is earlier. Let me come again. 18 months after the date of incorporation of the company or 6 months after the end of the first accounting year. Let's take for instance you incorporated your company in January 2025. So you're supposed to file your returns, company income tax returns, to the tax authority before 30th of June 2026. Then let's take for instance you incorporated your company in February 2025. And then your accounting year end, that's the date you prepare your financial statement or audited accounts to, is 31st December 2025. Of course, you are still expected to file your returns before the 30th of June 2026. But then, if you fail to file, that's not a problem. The only thing that happens is penalty starts accruing from there on. So the provision of the tax law is not exempting you from filing tax for 18 full months like a lot of people think it is. The provisions of the tax law is just telling you that you have a window of 18 months from the date of incorporation to file your returns to the tax authority, which if you don't do, penalty start accruing. So there are two types of accounts you need to file to the tax authority, which I'll be discussing subsequently in the next video. But for context, there is statement of affairs for a company that has not commenced, and then there is audited financial statement for a company that is in business. But then I will be providing more context to this in a subsequent video. So you need to understand that when they say 18 months of filing, they are saying that from when you incorporate your business, because every business is supposed to file their returns in a 12-month calendar year or from date of commencement of business, which most times can be less than 12 months. Let's take for instance, again, you incorporated your business in April 2025 and then you are making your account up to 31st December of every year. So April to 31st December of 2025, of course, it is not 12 months yet, but then that's your first accounting calendar year. And of course, you are supposed to file your return before 30th June 2026. So if you see from April to December is just about 8 months, and then 6 months from January 2026 to June 2026, not up to 18 months. But then the law says either 18 months from the date of incorporation or 6 months after your accounting year. Which one is earlier? Which one is earlier? But most of the time, business owners just look at the provisions that say 18 months after incorporation, and they feel that 18 months you are not supposed to file tax completely within that 18 months, until after 18 months you start computing your taxes. That's a fallacy. The law is saying you should file within that 18 months, after which if you don't file, there's penalty. So if your accounting year is ending 31st December, you're supposed to file before June 30th June of the next year. So the 6 months period is for you to sum up your accounts, prepare your invoices, get an auditor, and then get a tax consultant to do your audit and then do your tax computation so that you get to file. So the law is not saying you should not file taxes for 18 months. The law is saying that is just a window. For a company that is starting first, let's say from January, that is 18 months. For a company that your accounting year, you begin or incorporated your business from, let's say, April to this, and your accounting year and you have adopted 31st December, of course you are still going to file your account before 30th of June 2026, if that is 2020, if the commencement of incorporation is 2025. So this is what section 55 subsection 3 of the Company Income Tax Act means when they say 18 months. But when the 18 months doesn't stop there, there's an additional clause which said 18 months from date of incorporation or 6 months after the end of your accounting year, which one is earlier. So the law knows that there's a possibility that 6 months after the end of your accounting year may not sum up to 18 months. That's why they said which one is earlier. So if you have watched this video up to this point, please like, subscribe, and turn on your notification for more insightful and finance videos like this for you as an individual and then also as a business owner, so you get to avoid those penalties and those tax loopholes that will give you sleepless nights and then suck a lot of money from your business. So that's why you're here. So if you need our services to help you consult or file your taxes to enable that you pay the minimum taxes possible, reach out to the number displaying on your screen. Let's help you sort it out. See you in the next one.